I said yesterday that Dr. Tottenham will be nowhere to be seen. How I was wrong. Dr. Tottenham, we'll see you now. We'll see you now. Hello and welcome to Paxton Road TV. I am Sam Spurs for Life, and this is your Paxton Road TV reaction show for that game just finished. Tottenham versus Leicester City versus Tottenham. Leicester 4, Tottenham 1. In the house, joining me, we have the one and only, Sid Spurs. Sid, he's on the phone. He's on the phone to Conte. Is he?
No.
What's he telling you?
No. The doctor can't see me. No, but they just saw Spurs today. Can they not come and see me today as well? No. Okay. Can't get an appointment with the doctor. Apparently, they've already seen Tottenham.
Yeah. Sometimes you said, the NHS is in crisis. Can't get a bloody appointment to see any doctors at the moment. Can't get to see a dentist. Can't get to see anybody working in those sort of environments. But what happens today? Dr. Tottenham is there. Not seen for a little while, but he's there today. As always, when we don't need him, we didn't need him. Sid, talk to me, man. Talk to me. I don't understand. Let me start this whole thing off. Because I'm a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go. This might sound a bit strange to people. I'm going to go back all the way to the Stellini press conference when he said, he was asked the question: Is Conte? Conte's back? Is he going to be on the bench? Oh, I don't know. We haven't talked about that. This is 2 days before the game. Now, if that is true, and they didn't know if Conte was going to be on the bench or not, that means they're all confused. No one knows what's going on. Is Stellini picking the team? Is Conte picking the team? If it's not true, and they're playing mind games, why? What was that to achieve? I don't get that. What was the achievement of playing mind games? So that goes back to that whole press conference thing. Now I'm going to move on to today. We talked about it yesterday, Sid, about the team selection. We had a little bit of a difference of opinion about certain players starting and all the rest of it. I kind of made my point about Porro starting. I thought, away performance. It's going to be tough to try and get him to play the game he wants under pressure. First game against a Leicester team that, they're going to attack. They're in a position where they need to. I thought we had 2 enforced changes, Lloris, Romero. We now made 3 changes. We brought in Tanganga. We had to change Forster. And then we've gone and brought in Porro. I didn't think that was fair of him, particularly when I thought Sanchez, of anybody, would have going to be playing that right-sided centre-back because he at least played a few more times than Tanganga. Now, that is down to whoever picked the team. Was it Conte? Was it Stellini? I know it was Conte because he was on the bench and all the rest of it. So that's what I'm saying. I don't understand that team selection. Why are you going to put Porro under that pressure in his first game? Didn't make sense to me. Now, he wasn't at fault for the early goals, but he was certainly getting rinsed down that side. We've seen the same thing happen again and again with players. Under certain amounts of pressure, they get found out. Now, Dyer, bless him, in the game against Manchester City was doing what he was told to do. You make that extra man in midfield. You go in there, you make that extra man in midfield, so then we're not outnumbered. And it worked. But yesterday's price is not today's price, sir. It worked for them, but it don't work in this game. Why? Because we give the ball away cheaply. And when he's out of position, he was too far in midfield to get back. So he was out of position, but we gave the ball away. Perisic, whatever he was doing, Ben Davies, whatever, I don't know. But then we just saw attack after attack on Porro's side. I just thought, to me, he's a player that you've been brought in because he's specifically going to be attacking. Bring him on at home where the crowd's going to be with him. On that side, there's just away fans. They're not going to be saying, well done, Porro. They're going to be giving him grief. Didn't understand that. I didn't understand what was going on. And I'm just lost for words with the intensity. We saw the intensity against Manchester City. Just because we've got Romero out, does that whole thing just drop off? I don't think that's the case. But what happens is, for me, I see things like the mistakes a basic under-14 team wouldn't make. And then the forwards just go, oh, my God, I'm disinterested. Because we scored first and we looked all right. We had the ball. We were playing it around and they looked comfortable. But it was always a case. Got to keep that game plan. We kind of took our foot off the gas, as always with Spurs. We decided we're going to play off the counter. And what happens? Leicester score. And then their fans are up and then they're pressing us. And yesterday's price is not today's price. What worked for City is not going to work against a team who got lots and lots of energy, and they need to really get around the pitch. City weren't really up for what we were doing against them because our intensity was more than theirs. And as I said, the forwards were disinterested. It was a bad team performance all round, and I just had to rant. I'm apologising, Sid. It's your time. You go and do a 5-minute monologue as well, because I think you need to.
Right. First and foremost, let me just say, you just mentioned the word on the counter. Let me just get this correct. And I think all the Spurs fans will agree with me. It was more like we were all under the counter today with that performance. Forget on the counter. We were all under the counter. Right. Where do I start? Do you know what? We need to stop. Yeah. We need to now, on a preview show, we need to stop doing these previous results, because City and now Leicester, we've looked at the results and we've said all day long, they've not beaten us. We're going to do them convincingly. Yeah. But I tell you one thing, I was right about though, weren't I? I did tell you it was going to be a high scoring game. I did say 4-2 to Spurs, but it was 4-1 to them.
Even I said 3-1. I knew it was going to be at least 4 goals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
but
Sean said 4-2. So there you go. However, two things for me. Conte should have taken another week out, in my opinion, fully recovered, because your assistant has got a team. He won against City last week. He got a system. They all played as a team. This team didn't look like it played last week. It was completely disjointed. Some of them players went missing again, right? That's my other point. Another point is, okay, Romero's not going to play. We discussed this yesterday, and obviously you said Sanchez is the obvious choice. And then I did throw in the curveball. I did say, well, Tanganga's available, and I won't be surprised if you went with Tanganga. Tanganga is not a footballer, a Premiership footballer, top 4, top 5, 6 footballer. I don't think Southampton would take him at this precise moment. No disrespect to Southampton, right? At best, he's a Championship footballer or whatever. I don't know, right? He is not, everyone slags off Sanchez. Sanchez would have done a better job today, right? He would have done a better job than Tanganga did. However,
just one thing said, don't take away from the mistakes of like Ben Davies and Dyer. I'm not excuse. What I'm saying is the whole performance is bad. Sorry about that. I just wanted to make sure people might think we're picking on them and not looking at the culprits like Ben Davies and Dyer, because they were at fault for some of them goals as well. So
exactly. I was just moving on to that. Dyer, shocking, right? Some of that in the actual goal, what's he doing? He was just backing away. Yeah, why are you backing away? Go and do something, right? And then he's looking around or whatever. Shocking. Ben Davies, again, I don't know why they try and pass these balls into middle of nowhere when they can't pass a ball, and then they put us into trouble, right? Poro, yesterday we did say he's got to start at some point, and I said it could have been today, but then I thought, do you know what? No, leave. Don't change a winning team. Do not change a winning team. Arsenal have done that. Other teams have done that. If a team's on a winning streak, you've not conceded in 3 games, you've just beaten Manchester City, why are you going to change it? All right, you've paid £45 million for him, fair enough. I thought you had a shocker. The first 10, 15 minutes.
We had to make two changes, because obviously Lloris and Romero were both out the game today.
Yeah.
But to make 3 changes and to put a weaker defender in that I thought, but also to put a player in for his debut, I didn't understand why you'd make his debut now when there's a home game coming up, and Royal actually played all right against. He's defensively good. So we know what I kind of knew their game plan today in terms of what Leicester were going to do. They were either going to play off the break, try and play deep, but they thought, you know what, they've gone 1-0 up. We have to attack this lot now. And they did. That's all they did. They put us under pressure.
Apart from the goal, right, that we scored, which, you know what, it was a lucky goal. Bentancur didn't even know himself. Prior to that, he should have scored. After that, I can't even remember a shot on goal. However, I still think the only person in that team today, in my opinion, that can walk away with his held hand, well, maybe 2, I thought Højbjerg had an all right game, and I think Bentancur was playing decent. But again, reckless yellow card in the first 5, 10, 15 minutes, and then he's a little bit cautious, whatever. But bottom line is, how can you go from that performance last week to this performance? I switched off after 80 something minutes because every time they attacked, it was like they're going to score. They're going to score. I mean, Barnes must have thought, you know what, if at first you don't succeed, put yourself down and try again. Yeah. And he did. And he did. And he scored. In the actual goal, he then does a carbon copy of that. Again, what's Dyer doing? And this is a problem. This is the problem. And I've not said it all season. I'm not saying it. I haven't said a word about it. Conte now needs to start being questioned. Is it his...
I've questioned him from day dot.
What's going on? Because today, again, the starting lineup, not good enough for me. Made too many changes. Substitutions, again. Danjuma, you're coming on. Your front three are absolutely playing awful. Kulusevski today was poor. He was poor. He could not tackle. He couldn't hold the ball, run with the ball. Kane had a bad game. But then he takes Kulu off before Son, and Son stays on again for the full 90 minutes. This man is untouchable, man. I don't know what's going on, but they need to remake that Kevin Costner film with the Untouchables and put him in the lead role, because he doesn't get substituted no matter how bad he plays. Kane had a bad game. Like I said, Kulu had a bad game. And he's not making the substitutions. Why are you not making the substitution? And then you're 3-1 down or 4-1 down, and you bring on 2 defenders. So, you know what? Honestly,
I forgot about that.
Danjuma must have been sat there thinking.
Forgot about that.
Danjuma must have been sat there thinking, am I a club signing or am I a Conte signing? Because to me, I'm waiting for him to say it was a club signing. So Conte needs to be questioned now, because look at last week's performance or how they played for the coach, and today it's like we're back to Groundhog Day. Dismantled. You've put in your Foxy's Tame, sorry Spurs. They've not tamed us. They've mulled us. They've mulled.
I should have put Foxy's mulled, sorry Spurs. Yeah. I tried to try and find some sort of solace in trying to, because we've always got, we react now. We react because we're angry. We see the result. It's 4-1. I said it with my chest held high yesterday. There's no Dr. Tottenham appearing. We're going to smash this lot. We're going to bash them 3-1. I knew there was going to be goals in it. We scored the first goal, bit fortuitous to goal, but we was actually playing all right. We were keeping the ball, we were passing it around, and we were getting in behind. We weren't clinical enough, but we got a goal. So I thought that would at least, we've got a goal. Let's try and play in the same way that we played against City, with the intensity. Tactically, as I said, you said it yesterday, he's crafty, is that Brendan? He's very crafty. Yeah. What he does well, he can plan a tactic and a strategy for any team, because he's one of them coaches that is very much on the tactic side. He's on the boards. He knows what teams are going to play, so he knows how to counter. If he was a boxer, he'd be a counter puncher, because what he does is he sees how a team plays and he adapts his team to play. Because Leicester ain't been playing like that all season, have they? No, have you seen Leicester playing like that all season? Because if they were, they wouldn't be where they are now. The problem is, every team knows how we play. We try to make a little bit of an adaptation by bringing Dyer into midfield. But as soon as he made that, it was partly his error, but as soon as we lost the ball, for him to be in that position, for them to score, he stopped doing it, because his confidence has gone. Oh, shit, I made that. I'm blaming myself. It was partly him, because he was in that position, probably too far ahead of the play. But when I'm coaching players, I always say, when you're attacking, you've got to think of defense. When you're defending, you've got to think of attack. He was too much thinking of the attack because we were in possession. And as soon as we lost it, he's too far forward and it's one easy ball in behind. But then after that, you've got to stick to your process. You've got to stick to your plan, your strategy. If you're going to be in midfield to be that extra person, you've got to keep doing it. He stopped doing it. That's why they overrun us. On the other side of the pitch where Porro was, I said I felt sorry for him because he wasn't sure. He wasn't sure what to do. But he's got nobody on that side to tell him, because Tanganga's played what? 3 games? I don't know how many games he's played. I ain't seen the guy.
Mate,
so he's not going to tell him, oh, you need to be here when we're doing this. You need to be there if we're halfway up the pitch, or if we're in the final third. I want to see you just tucked in. He had no clue. So he's trying to do what he was doing against us, picking up the ball and trying to run, but he never got the ball because we didn't know what he was going to do. This made no sense. This is what I'm saying. This is nonsensical. Royal, at least we've given him grief. I've given him grief time after time. He knows what to do. He knows what to do. Sanchez, I've given him grief. He's messed up. He's done this. But he knows what to do. He's played more times than Tanganga this season. We've already lost Lloris. I weren't too concerned about that because Forster came in. I don't think he was at fault for anything. But now his confidence is going to be, fuck's sake, my first appearance and we've got 4 past us. They could have had 6. They had 1 disallowed and they've had others. The pressure that we put ourselves in this for no reason at all is unreal. It's unbelievable. And then to top it off, we might have lost Bentancur for a few games now because it didn't look nice. He got up after it, but he was down for a good while. He looked like he was in tears to me. They gave him some sort of juice because the juice said, yo, I'm going on now. Come off, mate. Come off, mate. You can't go back on. What are you trying to do here? You can't mess up our whole season because if he goes off injured for 6 to 8 weeks, we are completely shot because we've got no Basuma, we've got Højbjerg, and we're going to be relying on Papassar because I don't know what he's doing with Skip. Skip's nowhere to be seen. Oh, this is what I'm saying. We are so inconsistent. Is this? I'm not asking you, Sid. Is this inconsistency due to? Oh, he's gone. Oh, sorry, you're back. Oh, yeah. Is this consistency due to the fact that we don't know what's happening? Do they actually know what's happening in the club? Do they know if Conte's staying? Is he going? Is he playing these players? Is he not? Are these his signing? Is he getting the players he wants? I think this whole kind of little black hole, mini black hole that we're not knowing what's going off is causing a few issues because it's the inconsistency players. But I'm looking at that and thinking, well, that could be part. But then I'm just looking at some basic errors. You've got to engage a player when he gets to your 18-yard box. You don't keep doing that because that's what is in the bloody coaching manual. I've done it. I've seen it. You know what I mean? Oh, it's unreal. It's such a collection of things. Do you think it's just this unknown for what was causing all this inconsistency, mate?
Right. So, a couple of things, right? It's now 5:25. The foxes down my street don't come out normally till 8, 9 o'clock. They're now walking, doing all sorts of moonwalks and dancing and all sorts. Yeah, looking at my door saying, yeah. Anyway, no. Do you know what? Consistency. I don't know what's going on. I think it's a massive Conte effect. I think there's something going on with Conte because it looks like, to me now, it's looking like they're not liking or there's an issue with Conte's tactics or whatever's going on, right? There's something going on. I keep referring back to last week's performance and today's performance. It doesn't make sense how you've gone from that good last week to this shit, complete utter shite this week. Yeah. And then to top it up with, you're playing people like Tanganga to come in. Right. You know what, honestly, I've said it and I'm not convinced at all with Forster in goal, but that's all we've got. And we've got to send a massive SOS. We have to check. We know we look after people, their well-being, mental health, and everything. Someone needs to go to Leicester and check on David Clark because, like he said yesterday, he's married to a lady from Leicester, and all the family are all Leicester fans. So he's not come on tonight. He did say he was not going to go anywhere near the game. So please, Dave, if you're around, if you're watching us, just pop in the box to see if you're all right. Even Juicy's asking as well, how are you? So we need to. But going back to your question, man, there's a lot of questions I need to ask about this club. Today, honestly, it was, I don't know. I mean...
Let's just have a look. Let's have a quick look at these stats. Just to see if it does anything, if it makes any difference to what you're thinking and feeling, because I don't know if it will.
Just
I've
one
not
thing,
really
Sam.
looked at it. Yeah. I
don't know how, when you were watching it, Paul Robinson was commentating. And
I had the Paul Robinson.
Yeah. And remember what he said? He said, this team has not conceded a goal in 3 games, but too many changes at the back today. None of these players have played with each other. It's going to be interesting.
That's what I said. I said that yesterday. You can't have because we kept the reason why we were so consistent is because we had some consistency in the back line. Now it was only 1 or 2 enforced changes. Maybe Longley might have come in for Davis, but it wasn't like wholesale changes. We've seen that Doherty went, so Raw was always going to be that player that was playing. So that's what's happened. We know that was going to be happening. But then we had, obviously, the Romero red card was a problem for us because when he went off, it was like, okay, we know we're going to have somebody else there now. But then Lloris going out, I was like, okay, I don't mind forced to get. But then I actually think back now in hindsight, it's his first game. You know what I mean? His first start in the league game for Spurs. And away from home, it's never easy. And when you've got players in front of you that are liabilities, when I say liabilities, you don't know what they're going to do. When you're in good possession, you don't expect top-level players to give the ball away so easily. And for players to be so far out of position because they're not expecting that. It's like I keep saying, if you're attacking, you've got to think of defense as well. So if you've got to play a little bit of a half space, don't fully commit yourself. But Dyer, I don't know if his intelligence levels, he must be intelligent enough because he speaks 27,000 languages. But sometimes his football brain is not there. It's not there. And it wasn't there today. Ben Davis, again, he's a trier, but he's, again, not at the top level for us. Looking at these stats, 50% possession. They 15 shots to our 11. Shots on target, 7-4. 1 corner to them, 5 to us. 14 fouls tonight. That's an away performance. You'd expect that sort of, you know what I mean? But look at the scoreline. Look at the scoreline. That's the only thing that matters. That's the only thing that matters. They were 3-1 in a 2-man fight or two-person fight. They were 3-1 at home. That's for a reason. Sid, what do you think we're going to have for the next game? Because what do you think Conte... Is this down to I can't say it's down to Conte because it's not everything's down to Conte, but you have to have somebody... The manager is the person who's accountable for this. He's accountable for what happens in the dressing room, who he puts out, how he motivates these players. Are you saying that and suggesting that these players are no longer playing for him at the level they have played for Stellini in the last game that he was in charge?
Judging by last week's performance, right, and judging by today's performance, to me, it feels like they don't want to play for Conte. Yeah? We was raving on about Harry Kane has to be captain. I'm sorry, but he was like Lloris today. He didn't do anything at all to motivate the players, even when we were goals down, 2 down, 3 down. Nothing from him. He had a very, very inactive game as well, in my opinion. So I think deep down Conte's not signing the contract. I think Conte's gone. And I think deep down some of these players know. Hence why I think they're just thinking, you know what, we don't care.
You know what I think, Sid? I think he doesn't even know Conte. I think sometimes Conte wakes up and thinks, like after last week, he probably the game against it, he probably thought, yeah, I've got a chance here. I've got this, Porro now, he's in. Got a Doji coming next season. Maybe if I get 1 or 2 players in that defense, But what's happening is we don't hear whether or not he's happy with what he said. He was happy with his defense. Remember when he said that before the transfer window closed? He said he was happy with the defense.
No, he's going to say that, isn't he? Because he knows he's not going to buy anyone. So if you're happy with that defense, then that to me, it feels like I'm happy with this defense because I'm going and I don't care and I don't want to bring any more defenders in. Yeah. Or have him and Daniel Levy had a gentleman's handshake to say, listen, huff and puff, like we've been saying about players, blah, 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 blah. And it's proven now that we've all known we need defenders, a midfielder and a striker. Yeah. But have we covered the centre-back position? No. We're crying out for it. I reckon, and I've got a theory, and I think they've shook hands and they've said, you know what, allow it. Don't get anyone in the middle because I'm not going to sign a contract. So, and I think that's what it is. And I've said
what happened last week then? What happened against City? Because if I'm hearing right, and Conte has already and players, why did we get what we did last week against City? I don't, because that's what I initially thought. I thought the indecisions, the not knowing, players are thinking, "Oh, is he not going to stay?" You know what I mean? And probably behind closed doors, like he said, he says to the camera, "Yeah, I'm happy to defense," but maybe behind closed doors, he's telling Stellini, "This one over, it's shocking, and I can't play with this one." But I don't know. But what the other thing, like I said to you, when you've got players like Royal, who's not the best player in the world in his position, but when he's been doing well. He has been doing well in the last 3 games. You've got to give him that bloody, come on, son, you've done well. Have another game. Let him make the mistakes and then pull him out and say, you know what? This is why I brought this Porro in at 45 million. Don't just take him out and throw this guy, because now what he said to him is, regardless of what happens, he's my number one. Even if you're playing really well, he's playing. And that culture and that syndrome throughout Spurs has been a problem. This is why competition for places isn't competition. Because Harry Kane hasn't got competition for his place. And it seems like Son hasn't got competition for his place. And if players don't have or feel that they can get in a team on merit, what are they in there for? For a payday. Perisic example. He's on a payday. I completely agree with you. He got fit for the World Cup. He's Gareth Bale version 3. That's what he was. I'm going to get fit for the World Cup. I'm getting paid at Spurs. Lovely. I like you, Conte. We did well at, you know what I mean? So we done well. Shake hands on a deal. I'll play every now and again, because that's what it seems like to me. And now we've not got anybody else in the left wing back position to really challenge him, because I'm not relying on Sessegnon.
Listen, don't get me started on Perisic. I've said to you from day dot. I've said to you, right? He's not what everyone makes him out to be. He's just like you said it. He came to get fit for the World Cup, and then that's it. A couple of times today, he should have buried that. There was one where Kane put him through. Man was like he was running backwards. It was that slow, and then the shot was, even not even hitting the target. And Paul Robinson said, "Man, you should be hitting the target at least." I'm not going to say any more about Perisic, but like you said, we've got nobody else to come in and deputise for him, and it's a problem. That's why having Doherty would have made a difference, because he can play left wing back. He has played left wing back, and he's had decent games there, right?
Oh, they effed up on that. We all know about how that happened, and that was effed up. Like I said, because they had to make a financial decision. I understand why they made that decision, but they effed up in the process to have to make that decision. That's clear. But taking that into consideration, it was either going to have to let Royal go or let Doherty go, because they weren't going to let Perisic go. They weren't going to let any of the others go. So, he was a scapegoat. But what I don't understand is, we had players that I think would do really well in this wing-back system. We've let go. I think Reguilon, he would be perfect in this, because all he wanted to do was attack when he played for us. He hated defending. Now, he had a bit of energy to get up and down. Yeah, his decision-making at times, and he was did he make the right decisions? But that's because he was asked to do things that I don't think he would do in a normal situation. He just likes to attack. That's part of his game. The other player was Serge Aurier. Now, again, we lambasted him. I lambasted him. He makes too many mistakes, but he was asked to play a position in a team that couldn't defend, and he wasn't a very good defender, but he could attack. These are the things that's all mistakes that's happened in the past. But what's happening now? This is he staying? Is he going? Is Harry Kane going to stay? Is he going to go? Oh, Harry Kane scored 267 goals for us. Yay, he's definitely staying. Looking at his body language today, he looked like he don't want to be there, because he's seen the same things happening now. And I keep saying the body language of the players, when basic stuff happens, it seeps through on the TV. Oh my God, he's done that same thing. Why can't they just? He's attacking, boys. He's getting to the 18-yard box, and you're going to just do this and turn. Oh, come on, man. This is under 14 stuff.
And going back to them stats, Sam.
Yeah, let's have a look then.
Right. Going back to them stats, their first corner, I think, or second corner, they scored, right? Now, I put it on the group and I said, the ball's coming to the box. Bentancur's cleared it out. Perisic has gone out and then stood there, right? And then decided to put his arms, do the Russian dance, didn't he? Put his arms on across his stomach and put his leg out, right? Why are you not charging the ball to the Mendy to try and charge him down? Why are you going halfway and then stopping? and they scored from that. So I'm like, and this is my point with him. I'm not going to say anything more about Perisic because I'm going to end up having a nervous breakdown because that guy, honestly, yeah. But you know what? Let's move on.
And you know the worst thing is as well, even in situations like this, because every single team has games like this. We've seen more games this season like this than we should have done, both at home and away. But we don't seem to have the players that will dig us out. I mean, really dig us out. You can say that, did they do that against City? Have they done that when they've come back against teams like, Southampton, Bournemouth, and them sort of people? Have they done that? We've seen that they can do that when they did that. Was it Villa? You know what I mean? When they played Leicester, when we had this. So have they got those minerals? But we've seen that they can do it from time to time. But what I'm saying is a game like today, when you're playing an opposition who were 3-1 against to win at their place, they're down in wherever, they're not even in the top. Like, I'm going to put a league table up here. They're not even anywhere to be seen in this top half of the league table at the present time, because they're not doing very well at Leicester. And they absolutely bashed us today. They made us look like we were in 14th, 15th, 16th place, and they were going for top 4. They absolutely bashed us with basic tactics, and that's unforgivable. None of our players dug us out. Didn't have anybody who was going to, you mentioned about Hojbjerg. Yeah, he did things, but I didn't then see him beat a player and then strike 20 yards and hit the crossbar, or keeper having to make a great save, or making that nice through ball for someone to help. And then Harry Kane is like, okay, it's Dyer again. That's what it feels like to me. That's what I would feel like.
I think Harry Kane and Son were auditioning
don't
for
get me started on him. Don't get me started on Son.
They probably wanted to do an advert for them.
Don't get me started on Son. I said yesterday, I think Son's on his way back because of his performance in the cup.
You did.
Was I so wrong?
More for you then, innit?
That's what I'm saying, man. These players, they do it every single time without fail.
Answer this question for me, right? Answer this question for me. Richarlison's come back from injury. We've spent 60 freaking million pounds on this guy, right? You've then gone and bought Danjuma as another attacking winger, right? Your one winger has been out of sort all season, and you play him week in, week out, hoping that he's going to come good, He freaking hasn't. Kulusevski, last couple of games, I'm not going to have a dig at him because he's been brilliant for us, but last couple of games, he just seems to be off form again.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. Richarlison's come back from injury. Why not play him earlier? Bring him on earlier. Danjuma, again, is another Spence situation. 1 minute here and 2 minutes there. Son's not played well at all. Make that sub. If he's not played well in the first 45 minutes, what makes you think he's going to play well in the second half? Take him off and bring Danjuma on. Give him 45 minutes and see how he fares. Can't do any worse than what Son was doing today.
Only Kane, I think, has the ability to say to any manager that comes into Spurs, I deserve to stay on the pitch, because he has 267 goals for Spurs, and he's already got, 17 goals in the Premier for us this season. Out of how many goals have we scored? Out of 42 goals, and I think Kane's near 20 goals scored. So he's got that position to say, yeah, I should be the one to stay on. But Son hasn't, and Kulusevski, as you said in the last few games, can't say that he deserves to be on there till the end. No.
Exactly. And then you're bringing him on with 5, 10, 15 minutes to go, and you're already 3-4-1 down. What do you expect? What do you expect them to do? Yeah? Because all these lot now are going to be on Richarlison's case, right? Everyone's going to be, not Tottenham fans probably, but every other fan. Yeah? And then plastic ones down the road and whatever. They're all going to be on Richarlison's case, right? But you've got him. Bring him on a lot earlier. You're losing the game and you're bringing 2 defenders on. Come on, man. Come on.
I forgot all about that. So he brought on Sanchez and Royal, didn't he? Was it Sanchez and Royal he brought on?
Yes. And that's your first substitutions as well. Your first substitutions in a game, you're losing 3-1 and you bring on 2 defenders.
Did he do that? He didn't bring on Richarlison before that?
No.
Oh my God, surely that's not right.
I think he brought 3 on at the same time, didn't he?
Yeah, he must have brought
Richarlison.
Richard. Yeah, Richardson did come on. I remember.
Yeah, three of them.
Yeah,
But
three of them.
three of them, two of them are
But
defenders.
two of them are defenders. That doesn't make any sense.
No,
You should at least brought Dan Juma on and then Richarlison. Because what you could have done, the problem with Conte is he's stubborn. He ain't changing this shape. Very, very, very rarely does he change from this 3-4-3 system. I keep saying the 3-4-3 system isn't necessarily how they always play in the game, but it's what they start to get from their base where they can form. So sometimes it might be a 5-3-1. Sometimes you might have the wing back so far up that they're part of a 3-5 at the top. But what it is their shape to get back into. So they're always going to have the three centre backs. Now, what those centre backs do, depending on what happens in midfield, is what we saw. Dyer's got to step up, but he's not.
Guy's got to leave the club, bro. Guy's got to leave the club.
He's not good enough to do that properly.
You know what I mean?
He's got to go. It's hit and miss.
Not turn around now because he's not. You know, we're not going to welcome him anymore. They got to go. Simple.
Let's have a look at that league table again because I just wanted to put it up. So them lot on 51 points, 21 games played. City having played 21, 45 points, and now only 6 points. Well, 6 points. Obviously, Arsenal.
Oh yeah, 6.
Having played one game less beforehand, so they're on the same amount of games and 6 points different. Man United played 22, 43 points. Newcastle kicking off, or have kicked off. Yeah. And 40 points. So we are 2 games behind them, 1 game behind Man United, but only 4 points off United at this present time. And Bristol, Brighton, and Fulham.
About Brighton, the 2 games in hand over us and only 4 points behind us. That's who we need to worry about. Forget looking upwards. We need to worry about them lot behind underneath us now.
Oh, from that performance, we need to be worrying about a lot more teams than just Brighton. I'm telling you that. There's a whole load of teams below that. You know what I mean? If Leicester can do that to us, you have to remember Leicester not even in this table here. They're not there, Sid, for a reason, because they've been rubbish this season. And we've been rubbish this season, but we're luckily in 5th. How does that make sense? I'm going to go through a few of these comments because I've been trying to put them up. Obviously, been going through. But Colin, welcome back, mate. Conte is managing us like a Chelsea fan. I bet Sting had a different plan today, but Conte had to do it his own way. And this is what I'm saying. That goes back to that press conference when he said, I don't know if he's going to be... That was like... How do you not know? That's the first thing that you're going to ask Conte when he gets off the plane or wherever he come off from. Boss, are you well enough to be on the bench Saturday? Yeah, I'm all right, fam. That's what Conte should have said to him. And if he didn't say that, that's shocking. Because then the guy thinks that he's going to be setting the things up. Or is it Conte? And as I said earlier, if that was planned and they were doing that as mind games, what did that achieve? Nothing. Yeah. That honeymoon going to shot. I'm not sure. On that next XG stat next time. I haven't got the XGs for that one. I don't want to see the XGs. Stars showing doesn't indicate what the hell happened. No, it doesn't. Stats don't indicate what happened. I said the only stat that matters is the 4-1 on that one. I wonder if they are still clapping Romero now. Romero is a massive miss because he's aggressive. I think that aggression is what we required today. We didn't have it. Simply as I hate saying this, but Conte is trying to ruin our season, and it does not look like I am wrong. You know what? You can't. I cannot see it. I cannot ever say a manager would self-sabotage. But Conte, what I can say is he could get disinterested very, very quickly.
And it looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, because he's a very animated manager on the sidelines, and what I see today, there was nothing in there. Nothing. And
this is what I just don't understand it. I mean, Conte as well should have said, you know what, Stellini, yeah, you done well last week. You beat them 1-0. I watched the game, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't there in training and this, that, the other. You know, obviously they're in cahoot with how they do the training and whatever. I'm sure Stellini's got the cahootas to turn around to Conte and say, boss, stick to what we had last week. The boys gave me a very positive result. We won the game. We beat the champions, and it was a good performance. Okay, 1 or 2 changes, like you said, Sam, had to be made. But, boss, you know what? Stick to what we know best. Stick to what the players did well.
And you know what, Sid? That in life, that's how things should be. But you know what? It couldn't work in reality. The reason being, if Stellini had said that, boss, this is my plan. This is what we should do. And Conte said, okay, we're going to go over it. And he'd won. Then it's like, you know, where are we at?
Yeah.
Is the dynamics change? This is going to be a number one and number two. Is Stellini going to think this guy might make a few more mistakes here? And then are the players going to thinking, hold on a minute, Stellini's actually a boss man. No, he set us up right. This is the things you can't. So he had to be like, yeah, you're back, boss. Here's the keys. But what I didn't like was them trying to say in the press conference that they didn't know. They would have known last week, fam.
Yeah,
they would have known a long time ago.
100%. They must have known because they're in contact, total contact all the time. All the freaking time they're in contact. So they must have known. They must have known, you know.
I don't understand the reason why they wouldn't. So Colin again, Kane and any thought of the future should have been sold a few years ago. Keeping these players too long has stopped any development of any youth strikers coming through. And I do agree, because we've not even seen any youth being brought into to at least be on the bench. A couple, but they're not doing anything. And then we buy, as you said, a 60 million striker who's not getting minutes.
Yeah, but do you know what? The other thing I'm going to say on that, just a quick point before David says it's 50 million, not 60 million. But Man United, right? Prime example. In the window, they knew they weren't going to go and get the Osimhens and the whoever and them lot, right? They've gone and got Weghorst, a journeyman, right? That used to play for Burnley last season. Just to bring him in as a striker, yeah? We are not bringing anyone in as a striker because we're crying out for a striker. Because sometimes, to me, if we had another striker playing in the striker's role and Harry can drop back a little bit to create a little bit more, yeah, because we ain't got no one that can create. But you got to blame the manager and then you got to blame the chairman. Simple as. Because he's not giving the money, and I don't know what Conte, we're crying out for. I don't know where, keep going on about it. I don't know what's going on, what his intentions are, what Kane's intentions are. Now I've heard they weren't going to sell Kane to anyone in England. Now I've heard they're willing to take 100 million from anyone in England. So I don't know what's going on. And you know what? It's just the way we capitulate. Absolutely,
It's not even that, Sid. Every mistake that we seem to make
they score
in critical parts of the game cost us goals. Do you know what I mean? It cost us goals. The first mistake that happened when Dyer made that mistake, when Davis made the mistake, giving the ball away, Dyer being in that position, they scored the goal from it.
Yeah.
You could even say with the corner, when it came out, and then who was it? Perisic didn't even engage the player. No. It was a beautiful strike. Do not get me wrong. Beautiful strike. He was... Go on, sorry.
No, go and finish off.
He weren't close enough.
I know.
You can know that he's going to... That's the only option he had, was to hit the ball from there. So if you're a player who's got any kahunas about you, you're going to get hit in that position. You take that strike. Yeah, you might. But then you just go down and take like that. You know what I mean? Stop the game. Everything's... But he didn't want to get hurt. And they keep doing this. It's like they did, ow! And then we saw bloody Tanganga breakdancing again. Like Colin said, what's going on with our players and breakdancing? Sanchez did it against City, and now Tanganga's doing it again. Yeah. What is happening with this team, Sid?
I don't know. But like I said to you, man, this Perisic thing, you just put it on the head. You nailed it with that. Why is he coming? Stopping goal. It was like somebody put a red light there and said, stop.
It's like
hammer time. And then he went, hammer time. And
like he didn't want to go through an amber. He did not want to go through an amber. He said, no, this is the law. No, stop him. It was a great strike. Do not get me wrong. 9 times out of 10, that's going over the crossbar. But this one strike was so beautiful. There was no keeper stopping that. Don't care. People are going to say he went in his near post. Forster should have. No way. Yeah. No way was he saving that.
I don't know, man.
David Clark, you're away from home. Go 1-0 up. But instead of tightening up and catching them on the break, we let it be a basketball game. Again, we never controlled possession. It said 50% possession. But again, they were the team that were trying to play off the break. They were just letting us have the ball. And then as soon as we got it, they pressed us. So they had a great plan. Crafty Brendan Rodgers, he did it again. We should have gone all in for Tony, a young striker who is hungry. I bet he did. Oh, Sid. Sorry about that. We've been making similar mistakes since Feb 2019, so there are no surprises. Simply, the team do not want to learn from mistakes, which is very, very worrying. It's not even a learning from the mistakes. It's just that they just can't help making those mistakes. I think they've learned from them. They just can't help making the same mistakes again. That's clear. And that's just down to quality. Can certain players play under pressure in certain situations all the time? No, they can't. Sometimes they can, but most of the time they can't. And that's the difference between elite and not elite. Oh dear. Dyer's never been a proactive defender. He reminds me of a Will Hub on the side of the road. Just static. David, man, you must be getting it today. You must be getting it. Yeah, man. It's not good. Sid, final thoughts from you, man. Final thoughts from you.
Final thoughts. Do you know what? I don't know what's going on in that club. Everyone now knows it's not just at the top. It's top, middle, and bottom. It's like playing Strike It Lucky with Michael Barrymore in it. Top, middle, bottom. Boo, boo, boo. If you go to the top with Daniel Levy, hot spot. Antonio Conte at the moment is woo, woo, hot spot. And then on the bottom tier, the players at the moment are woo, 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 hot spot. You know what I mean? Yeah, he is, isn't he? Because he's saving all his love for them.
That's your favorite player, man. I wanted you to say something about that. Is he saving himself for AC Milan?
I'm saving all my love. Yeah, of course he is. Do you know what? You remember last season and the season before when I first joined Paxton Road TV and you were referring to people as numbers and no name. Please can we refer to this guy as not even a number? Please, just a place on the pitch because I don't want to even say his name anymore. He's done for me.
But what are we going to do? Are we going to then rely on bloody Ryan Sessegnon? This is
what
the
we
alternative.
Need to do is go back to the 80s and bring back breakdance and play that music as our intro because I'm sure Tanganga can dance to that all day.
I swear I saw that from Tanganga.
Yeah.
Man, what is going on at Spurs? We can't be doing this, man. We can't be doing this. Seeing players breakdancing in a 4-1 defeat. Close the stream, please. Beer time now to watch away this. Oh, God, you're right, geez. Come on, you Spurs. We have to say come on, you Spurs, because we have to keep doing this. Sometimes it really is hard. People, it does get difficult doing this. I enjoy it. I love talking with Sid. We're mates, but it's hard work. And you don't want to do this sometimes. And this is one of them days where you just think, how can they do that to us? After us bigging them up yesterday and all the rest of it, after the performance against City, and then basic errors on all sides, in the players, in the mentality, in the management, and then in the boardroom. It's everything. And then everything it's all then a whole melting pot of, board, you can't leave, and it's break everything down. Mistakes are not being learned at this club. Mistakes are not being learned, and mistakes from the board, from the management, and players are not being learned. And that's the problem. People are just doing the same things over and over again, and we're just not learning. We're making the same mistakes in the transfer window, same mistakes on the pitch. We're actually bringing in managers, not supporting managers, and thinking they're going to make miracles with the same players that haven't made miracles before. We're relying on players that are great when they're outside of Spurs, but they come into Spurs, they shrink like anything. Are we going to see the same thing happen with a £45 million right wing back that looked like he was going to be a worldie? First game. So I'm not going to make that judgment, but I didn't think he should play today.
No.
Confidence in elite sport is almost everything. Confidence is almost everything. Because if you don't have it, you can't win.
Do you know, in life, they say certain things are guaranteed, yeah? As Tottenham fans, you know what's guaranteed, don't you? Conte's formation, the same. Conte's sub-making, the same. Tottenham defenders making mistakes that lead to goals, the same. 3 things in life that are guaranteed at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club is that at the moment, right? And as take that said, everything changes but Spurs because nothing changes. It's all the same. And as for Daniel Levy, like you were saying, he must every season when we're looking for players or a manager, he must say, I believe in miracles.
Sid, before we go, this is we should have looked at this earlier. This is the stat. I think we looked at this before. City, the top scorers with Arsenal next, then it's us. Yeah. 3rd highest scorers. But look at that.
That's shocking.
35 goals conceded. There's nobody else in this top part of the table that's conceded 35 goals. And I could probably go further down than 12 to see that there's probably nobody else that's got 35 goals. That's a clear problem. It's a clear problem.
And look at Newcastle, 12. Their defense is probably not better than ours. Arsenal's defense, 18 goals, right? And we're 35. That
Even Manchester United that have got Harry Maguire, who played for them for quite a while, and they couldn't sort out their shit, getting boxed left, right, and centre, have only conceded 28 because they've tightened up in recent times.
They took him out.
But what? They took him out. No, you see that? They took him out.
They took him out.
Eric Ten Hag, almost with a sniper, he said, I cannot win with that guy. And he took him out. He took him out. Can we take Dyer out? Who are we going to place him in? I've said Longley. I think Longley should play there, but people are saying he's not got the pace. He's not this, he's not that. He's not our player. He's going back. But we can't keep playing the player there and expecting him to work miracles when he can't. Ben Davies, another one. He can't work miracles. He's in the middle set. Do you know when you got school, you got top, middle, and bottom set? He's not the bottom set, but he's in the middle set. He's not going to be in the top set, but he's in the middle set. And that's unfortunate. That's what life's like.
Leicester have conceded 38 goals. Yeah. And guess what?
What?
Bournemouth have just scored as well.
Oh my God.
They're beating Newcastle.
Oh my God. This is unbelievable. We could have done so much today. Yeah. Arsenal drawing, Newcastle, they probably win that game anyway. Yeah. Obviously, United drawing the other night as well. Oh, Spurs, Dr. Tottenham, why? Sid, do you want to tell people anything before we go? Because it's time to go.
Champions League preview will be coming on Monday evening. Join me and hopefully Sam will be on, hopefully Sean, and we'll take you through the Champions League. Let's see what happens with that one. But yes, Monday evening. I think, are we playing Tuesday or Wednesday?
I don't even know. I forgot we had Champions League. Yeah. That must be what they're saving themselves for, maybe.
Yeah.
Usually it's the other way around. You play worse after you play the Champions League game. Maybe Spurs are doing this in reverse. Maybe they're playing worse before the Champions League game. So the next game they play in the league, they're going to play better. Do you think that could be the case?
No.
I'm looking at all positives here.
No. Tuesday's the game. So Monday evening, I'll be doing the Champions League preview show. Come and join us. AC Milan. So it'll be an interesting one. Hopefully we'll be more positive.
We'll try. The only good thing about this stream is that we've got some good music. You've done some good intros, fam, and some good outros. So well done, you, Mr. Sid. I tell you what, I like this exit as well. So the reaction one. People, if you want to like the stream, we'd love you to because it helps us out immensely. We are going to be making changes soon. Nothing that will affect you. Just look out for a new YouTube channel, PRTV, Paxton Road TV still, but it's just going to be changed to PRTV. We're going to be doing that just because YouTube are dickheads sometimes. What's happened?
We're not changing any we're not doing any tactical changes. Yeah, like that one. We're not doing any tactical changes to the channel. We're not going to be bringing substitutions on late in the shows. So we'll keep you all updated on that one.
Oh, Sid. I'm tired. I'm tired, man. I'm tired of this. I'm just tired of this. The City game did me. I was like, yeah, Conte doing all of this. I'm sorry, Stellini, wasn't it? Stellini. And we're like thinking, yeah, when Conte comes back, because he even got that result before we had that, before he went away with his illness. And we're thinking that we was going to like back onto it. Yeah. And Dr. Tottenham turns up again.
Let's chill.
Everybody hit the like button and the subscribe button. Punch the like button. Every time we get a striker, he doesn't get a real chance and the fans put him down. Deep down, the fans are worried about someone challenging their heroes. Well, we can never be successful in that sense because you have to have challenges to your heroes to be the best. That's how you become the best, unfortunately. Okay. That's it. Thanks, Sid.
Thank you.
So, reaction, thank yous. We are out.